All right, we've already passed our 2-minute mark. We'll be starting our opening ceremony in 1 minute. If you'd find your seats, please. 1 minute. It's on Rusko's speech. You decide in the comments below. Yeah, you're going to want to take the over. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. You guys ready, Johnny? You guys ready to go? Let's do it. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing started, everyone, if you wouldn't mind finding your seats. All right. Hey, good evening and welcome to the 2018 Dynamic Discs Glass Blown Open. We are absolutely thrilled that everybody's made the trip to Emporia, Kansas this year. My name is Robert McCall. I am the team director for Dynamic Discs Latitude 64 and Westside Discs, and I'm really excited to spend this week with you and to spend the next little while telling you about what this week is going to look like. We have a great field this year, like I said, of over 1,600 competitors here this week. Over 1,600. It's awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys for making it out. And so we want to pay special honor to some of our international competitors, and so we've got a flag processional. So I'd like the people in the back with the flags. Let's get started. Why don't we give it up for Great Britain? Come on down, Great Britain. Put your hands together for our competitors from France. Come on down. Let's have a round of applause for Estonia. Come on down, Estonia. Put your hands together for our Canadian competitors. Welcome, Canada. Our brothers and sisters from across the pond, put your hands together for Sweden. Let's have a round of applause for Norway. And then our other brothers and sisters, Finland. Come on down, Finland. One single German competitor this week, Germany. Come on down, Simon. And last but not least, the United States of America. Keep it going, keep it going. You guys are fantastic flag bearers. It's as if you've practiced this. I'm proud of you guys. We do have a lot of international players here this week. If you are an international player, would you go ahead and stand up, please? Stand up where you are. Thank you, guys. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you, guys. For our international players, we are so grateful for your support. We're thankful that you made the trip over, and we're excited to host you here this week. We have a gift for you if you are an international player. So after the opening ceremonies are over with, come on up to the stage and we'll get that taken care of for you. Now, everyone, if you wouldn't mind, please rise for the playing of our national anthem. You guys can be seated. Before we get started with some of our information for the meeting and some exciting things for this week, we've had a particularly poignant thing happen lately, and so we wanted to take a minute to remember some of the people that we've lost this year, particularly Matt Mayo, who died tragically a few days ago. So let's have a moment of silence together for those people we've lost this year. Thank you, guys. Mayo, we'll miss you. We're excited to see all the colors down here for you, buddy. All right, on to some things for this week that you need to know, and I need to introduce you to the owner and CEO of Dynamic Disc. Welcome him up to the stage, Mr. Jeremy Rusko. Come on up. My man.
Thank you, thank you. All right, guys. Hey, thanks, Robert, and thank you all again for making the commitment to coming to Emporia, Kansas for the Glass Blown Open. Tonight, I'd like to start things out by telling you a story about Dynamic Discs and the Glass Blown Open. My staff places wagers on an over-under time limit for my speech, so depending on how I do on time will depend on how many stories you get to hear. Curious who's got the most money on this tonight. My first story is about the humble beginnings of the Glass Blown Open. Believe it or not, this event didn't just start out as the largest event in all of disc golf. We have a lot to be thankful for today, but the disc golf event that Eric McCabe and Gabe Worley started back in 2003 had some pretty humble beginnings. Eric McCabe certainly deserves a special mention in regards to this event, as he takes more pride in this event and sacrifices so much to make the Glass Blown Open the best disc golf event in the world. Let's give it up for Eric McCabe. We all appreciate you. Oddly enough, many of you probably don't even realize that Dynamic Discs wasn't around when McCabe and Worley hosted the first Glass Blown Open with 88 players. Ron Converse took home the Glass Blown Open trophy that year in the Open division. The first 3 years of the Glass Blown Open saw less than 100 players at each event. The next 5 years featured player counts into the hundreds. I played in my first Glass Blown Open back in 2005, which was the third Glass Blown Open, when Eric McCabe talked me into playing the event the night before and suggested that I play in the intermediate division. It was my first tournament, and I wasn't even a PDJ member yet. 4 rounds later, and I took home my very own Glass Blown Open trophy. I was hooked on playing disc golf at a competitive level, and also that year, Eric McCabe also took home a Glass Blown Open trophy. At this time, Dynamic Discs was 2 shelving units full of discs in the attic of my college house, selling a few discs a week on eBay. Let's fast forward to 2008. The Emporia Disc Golf Club, which was basically Eric McCabe, Gabe Worley, and Nate Martin, turned over the event to Dynamic Discs. This year, we welcomed 2-time world champion Barry Schultz to the Glass Blown Open, and we were thrilled to have 142 players. Dynamic Discs was now 10 shelving units of discs in my second basement and selling tens to hundreds of discs a week. A good day of sales was measured by whether I had to utilize the '94 Ford Explorer instead of the moped to get everything to the post office. 2009 brought Nate Doss and Avery Jenkins to the unknown Midwest Emporia community, and we upped the player count to 143. Dynamic Discs expanded to a new house, a new basement actually, and was overflowing in the garage. Something special was happening. That year, we sent home Nate Doss with his very own Glass Blown Open trophy. In 2010, we had 188 players, and McCabe won his third Glass Blown Open trophy that year. It was shortly after this event that my wife had finally had enough, and Dynamic Discs got kicked out of our house shortly after the event. This was actually a good thing. It wasn't until 2011 when things really started to take off for the Glass Blown Open. 354 players showed up, and we had our first ever $20,000+ payout. Cale LaVisca and Val Jenkins took home the glass that year. For the sake of time and to hopefully hit the under on the over-under staff bet, let's fast forward to 2016. This is the year that we all have something and someone to be so thankful for. So many people ask how we can host such an amazing event with so many people. The answer is simple. I'm not sure if Doug can see that he's up on the billboard, but Doug Bjerkes, you're a rock star. For the record, Doug is not for hire. In 2006, we hosted the largest event in disc golf history at the time with 1,120 players. Doug was named the 2016 Tournament Director of the Year by the PDGA, and we are also fortunate to have him on board at Dynamic Discs. Cam Todd and Katrina Allen took home the Glass Blown Open trophy that year. This year, we welcome more than 1,600 players and hundreds of volunteers and spectators for the largest event in all of disc golf that also features one of the best payouts. I want to thank each and every one of you for being part of the reason for the success of the event, and I also want to thank the sponsors, volunteers, community, and event staff that make the Glass Blown Open something special. Let's give them all a round of applause. A couple of years ago, we introduced a new tradition, the Champions Trophy and Trophy Wall at the Dynamic Discs retail store. If you've been a champion and taken home a Glass Blown Open trophy in any division, please stand up to be recognized at this time. Come on, stand up. Stand up. Be sure to take a minute to check out the Glass Blown Open Champions Wall at the Dynamic Discs retail store. This trophy and tradition are thanks to Troy Whidden and Joe DeVito of Gyroscopic Nature, who donated this to the event a couple years ago. I look forward to seeing who will take home this year's trophies and add their name to the Champions Wall. We'd like to think that the Glass Blown Open is like your disc golf Disneyland. We planned for this week for an entire year, and we want you to have nothing but the best experience. Crispin Carrasco with Hand-Eye Supply Company quoted, "Living the dream," several years back, and I certainly hope that you live the dream this week. I may be biased, but I believe that this is the best disc golf event in the world. No other event combines all the activities, the community, the quality of play, and the overall value to the player. We don't run this event to make a profit. We run this event because our vision is to grow disc golf, and we believe that we are growing disc golf by bringing the Emporia community together. Many think that Dynamic Discs makes a killing from this event. If you have visited the Dynamic Discs retail store this week, it would be pretty easy to think just that. Truth to it is, and I will remind you again, we run this event at a financial loss, even after factoring the retail sales. Running an event of this magnitude and professionalism comes with plenty of expenses. Speaking of growing disc golf, I'd like to share with you our $5,000, $10,000 ACE challenge that benefits our efforts to grow the sport. Look for the 5K, 10K Grow Disc Golf events on the PDGA schedule for your chance to hit an ACE that will be worth $5,000 or $10,000. What makes the difference between $5,000 and $10,000? Pretty easy. Throw an ACE with anything from Dynamic Discs, Latitude 64, and Westside Discs on that hole, and you will be rewarded with a $10,000 payout for a hole-in-one. The money that is raised for these events will go towards installing new courses across the country. I never would have believed that our sport would be where it is today. Just the other day when I was watching ESPN, Fox News, CNBC, and a few other channels, I noticed this commercial.
Dynamic Discs and ValueNet Fiber would like to invite you to watch live disc golf action of the 2018 Glass Blown Open on April 26th through April 28th. Watch the top men battle it out at Emporia Country Club all 3 days of competition. You can also catch the top female pros in action at Swope Park in Cottonwood Falls, Jones Park East, and Peter Pan Park. And don't forget to join us for the GBO Block Party on April 28th from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. in downtown Emporia.
How cool is that? Huh? Sure, they're only going to show up on TVs that are ValueNet subscribers here in the Emporia community, but I think that's pretty awesome for the Emporia community. I'd like to thank ValueNet Fiber for making this a reality and for growing our sport through the most important media channels. Speaking of media, have any of you heard of Cool Daddy Slick Breeze? He's got to be here somewhere. I hope he doesn't crash. You're supposed to wear a helmet, Bobby. Our media team that is driven by Bobby Brown, Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, is pretty stinking awesome. The media coverage for this event is just short of spectacular. SmashBoxxTV, Jomez Productions, Central Coast Disc Golf, Stu Molenberg with the flight record, Dynamic Discs, the Emporia Gazette, KVOE and Mix 104.9 Radio, and ValueNet Fiber will make sure that we get this event in front of as many people as possible. One day in the near future, I believe that our efforts with the Glass Blown Open will put this event on major sports networks such as ESPN. With our resources that we have today, I know that we can achieve so much more. Many have questioned our decision to only allow the men's professional open division to play the Emporia Country Club. This decision was based around building the stage to support a broadcast-worthy course that isn't a public park. Also, our decision to place all of the women in their own pool is to highlight the fact that this is the largest event for women in disc golf history that we know about, and we want to highlight all these amazing women. If you are this event is a PDGA National Tour event, and we love partnering with the PDGA to bring this event to you. Before I bring Mike Downs up on stage, I'd like to plug something that we are very passionate about at Dynamic Discs. We have encouraged the PDGA to get behind bringing back a combined World Championships every 5 years, starting in 2020, and they have opened up that bid process. Yes, combined in the sense that we bring everyone together for the World Championships, juniors, amateurs, masters, and even the top MPO and FPO divisions. Doug Bierkus, Dynamic Discs, and the city of Emporia are not only crazy enough to host this event, but more importantly, I think that we are capable of hosting and setting the bar very high. I'd like to encourage you to support our vision to bring everyone back together in 2020 to Emporia for the Combined World Championships. I also believe that the 2020 Combined World Championships is the perfect stage to get ESPN and/or a major sports network on board to feature our sport and help us take it to the next level. At this time, please welcome Mike Downs, Director of Operations with the PDGA.
Thank you, Jeremy, and thank you, Emporia. Wow, this is a lot of people. Wow. That must mean it's the biggest disc golf event in the world, am I right? Yeah. Listen, on behalf of the PDGA, the staff, the board of directors, I want to thank you for attending the 2018 Glass Blown Open, and I also want to thank Jeremy. I want to thank Doug. I want to thank Dynamic Disc and the Trilogy, and I want to thank the city of Emporia for welcoming us, the PDGA, and all of you into this great community to celebrate disc golf and to compete in a great national tour event this year. This is the second event on the national tour, and I am just thrilled to be here. And I just want you all to take a second throughout the week to recognize the many people and the many blood, sweat, and tears and the efforts that go into putting on an event of this size. It's absolutely phenomenal. All of the folks that you will cross this week, the volunteers, the folks that are out there working their butts off to make sure that you have a great week, deserve thanks. And I think we all need to take a second right now to just give them a big hand of applause. Thank you. putting on an event for 1,600 plus people is not an easy task, obviously, and Dynamic Discs and the community here does it with ease. And we're blessed to be in this community. We're very lucky to be in the spot that we are. And I just want you guys to have a great time. Appreciate it this week. It looks like, knock on wood, we're going to have some great weather, so don't let that be a concern of yours. I wish each and every single one of you in this room good luck this week. Have a great time. If you're not playing, support your fellow competitors and get your friends out here to watch. It's going to be quite the spectacle. So enjoy yourselves. Have a great time. Good luck to each and every single one of you, and enjoy it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Last year, we unveiled our first issue of Chasing the Chains magazine during the player meeting. Paige Pierce made the cover for that awesome edition. Our second issue, Eric and Tina with whale pants made the cover. Those two lovebirds. We found it very fitting to have our very own Paige Pierce and Riki Wysocki on this year's Glass Blown Open release of the Chasing the Chains magazine, as they are both the reigning world champions. Our magazine combines great writing, great photography, great design, and since Dynamic Discs is all about you, you will even find your name in the magazine and your score if you played in the Glass Blown Open last year. Hopefully this year, you will be able to better that score. I'd like to thank Chris Walker with the Emporia Gazette, our advertisers, and many, many others who helped bring this year's magazine together. While you are in town this week, take notice of the effort that we have put forth to grow the sport for our youth. Here recently, we have installed 3 new 9-hole disc golf courses at the Flint Hills Tech College, Hammond Park, and New Life Christian Church. These courses are more friendly for the youth and beginners. We have installed short tees and new pin positions at Jones Park and Peter Pan. These changes were to prepare us for the PDGA Junior World Championships that Dynamic Discs and the City of Emporia are host to in 2018, 2019, and 2020. We feel that there is no better place to host Junior Worlds than Emporia, and we are excited to work side by side with the PDGA to make this event something special for the players and for the families that come to Emporia. Emporia knows disc golf, and I feel that our relationship with the City of Emporia is unlike any other disc golf community relationship out there. The Convention and Visitors Bureau, Emporia Main Street, the Chamber of Commerce, the Emporia Parks Department, Emporia State University, the Regional Development Association, KVOE and Mix 104.9 Radio, the Emporia Gazette, the Municipal Golf Course, and the Emporia Country Club, amongst many others, deserve so much credit for the success of the Glass Blown Open and Dynamic Discs. Without these critical organizations and community staff members, this event and Dynamic Discs would not be where we are today. So with all this city and community talk, I'd like to take a moment to thank the City of Emporia and everyone present who had a hand in this, and at the same time, I would also like to welcome up our favorite city spokesman, Rob Gilligan, who is very much an advocate for Dynamic Discs and disc golf. Let's give him a round of applause.
Jeremy, thank you very much for the opportunity to come and chat. This is phenomenal. You guys should see the view up here. 1,600 of you, disc golf fans visiting our community. Real quick, how many of you guys are coming back to the GBO for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 15th time? All right. So you guys kind of know the show, right? You know the community. You found your favorite places to go and eat, go and have some fun, how to get around. How many of you, this is your first time visiting us here in Emporia for the GBO? Awesome. All right, real quick, I want to give you guys a heads up, and for those of you guys that have been here, make sure you take those people that were sitting next to you under your wing and kind of give them a scoop. If you're visiting Kansas for the first time, you'll have to know Kansans, and particularly Emporians, are very friendly. So when you stop at a restaurant or you stop at a gas station and some stranger walks up and starts asking you, how are your rounds going, how are you throwing, what's your card, what's happening, they are truly interested in you. They're not just trying to suck up. So we're super excited that you're all here and enjoying our community. For the next 5 days, for those of you guys that have been here for the past couple weeks, practicing and enjoying the community, we appreciate it. For those of you here the next 5 days, we appreciate it. We hope you truly feel like Emporia is a home. We truly feel like we're a home for disc golf. I would argue we probably have more disc golf holes in Emporia per capita than any other city in the country, if not the entire world. It seems like every year Jeremy or somebody from DD comes up and says, I've found another place for another course or two. And we usually say, all right, let's figure it out. Let's make it happen. We're excited you guys could join us. We're very excited you're here. We hope you have a great tournament. We hope you have a lot of fun. We look forward to hosting many events in the future. PDGA guy was down here somewhere. There he is. Always happy to have you back. Super excited to have you guys all back in 2020. I'm pretty much assuming that's in the bag, or in the chains, I guess, would be the appropriate way. Nobody does disc golf like Emporia and DD. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you, sir.
All right, so Clay texted me. He said I'm running out of time on the over/under. I think he's got the most money on the wager here. So at this time, I'm going to skip to our others. I'm going to skip our other stories and focus on our major sponsors.
We are Latitude 64.
Hi, I'm David.
Hi.
Ricky Wysocki here, two-time world champion. Just glad to announce that I'll be using the Dynamic Disc Backpack Cart LG by Zuka for the remainder of the 2018 season. I'm real excited about it. Now let's check out some of the features. First of all, I really like the tall seat. Being a tall person, it's really nice and to be able to sit down and be this high off the ground. I like the LG version because the framing is wider, so you can have a lot of access to the pockets. For example, the top pocket right here is really accessible. Just lift the handle up. The framing doesn't really get in the way. Get access to your clothes, jackets, whatever. Now let's go to the back and check out some of the back features. I really like the foam tires. They prevent flats out there on courses. You never know what we're gonna run into. Got the 2 water bottle holders. I really like that. I drink a lot. They got the dagger pocket. Gotta love the dagger pocket. Got the putter pocket right here. I always put my daggers in there. The mini goes there. You put phone in there or whatever, but there's a nice pocket, nice storage right there. Clipboard and a couple other pockets here that add a lot of easy access. The last thing is going to be the umbrella holder. I really like the umbrella holder. You can put your umbrella here and sit down on rainy days. I'm glad to have the functionality of a bag and the luxury of a cart. All in all, I'm excited to have this thing out there on the course for the 2018 season.
Who wants to go to the factory? All right, let's go. David, I do think that you guys make the best discs in the world. We are super excited to be partners with you. And at this time, I think it's time to bring the ownership of Latitude 64, David Berglund and Thomas Ekstrom, to come up here and be recognized. Let's give them a round of applause. Come on, Thomas, you got to come up too.
Oh man, you gotta give me 2 seconds just to soak this in. This is truly amazing. I mean, I've been here for a couple of years now, together here with Thomas, and every time we just get more and more excited coming here. You know, the last place where we were was at the Granada for the opening and stuff like that, but to standing in a place like this and just seeing you guys out here is just amazing. So, one of the things I want to do while I remember it is thank everybody at Dynamic for putting on this. It's just truly amazing, and the dedication that you have is just super. And besides from that, I'm just going to be very briefly. I wish everybody a perfect week and have a lot of fun. It's all about you now. I'm just going to enjoy being here and seeing you guys out there on the courses and having a super excited time. So thank you. Thomas is a bit shy, so we leave it there. Thank you, Jeremy.
Oh, come on, Thomas. All right, let's give it up for Latitude 64 one last time. They are a big reason why we get to have so many awesome things here. So Westside Discs has obviously been a major sponsor for quite a few of the last years, and this one is somewhat weird. Westside Discs was acquired by Dynamic Discs and Latitude 64 late last year. I know that most of you who have been here before are familiar with Yanni, who was the owner and founder of Westside Discs. Well, Yanni said you're going to have to visit him in his yellow Ford Mustang in Spain or wherever his travels take him. Yanni's been nothing but great, and we look forward to him coming back to Emporia for the Glass Blown Open very soon. Yanni decided to pursue other passions and is opening up a new business in water sports very soon. He told me to tell all of you hello and best of luck this weekend, and I'm guessing that he's tuning in live right now from Finland. So, hasta la vista. OGIO is proud to be the official bag and apparel sponsor of the Glass Blown Open. Our partnership with OGIO started in 2012 when we reached out to OGIO with an idea to build us a bag line. A year of development later, we launched our bag line with OGIO at the 2013 Glass Blown Open. Last year, Callaway Golf acquired OGIO and has combined their resources to get behind Dynamic Discs and, more importantly, behind the sport. This year's player pack included an improved version of the original sniper bag that Dynamic Discs originally released at the 2013 Glass Blown Open player pack. With the popularity of the Dynamic Discs backpack cart by Zuka, we hope that you enjoy this exclusive item as part of your player pack, as I know that many of you are using this bag for extra storage space with your Zuka carts. And real quick, did you guys really expect that you were getting a Zuka cart for the player pack this year again? That thing keeps going around. But with that being said, we are hosting the Junior World Championships in July, and you should plan accordingly that these junior players will take home a larger item from Zuka. Back on over to OGIO. Joining us today is David, Jessica, and Nathan from OGIO, who I'd like for you guys to all give a warm welcome to.
To Nate. Here you go, Nate. Jeremy, thank you so much for having us, and thank you for the city of Emporia for such a warm welcome you've shown us. A lot has changed since we were here last year. Now we're owned by Callaway Golf, and ball golf is fairly flat. And one of the things we're really excited about with disc golf is that it is growing at a really fast pace. And anything that we can do on the OGIO side and Callaway side together to help grow the sport is really important to us. So today I actually have 4 initiatives that I want to share with you on how OGIO is really getting behind the sport of disc golf and how we are working really hard to grow the game. First, actually, share of hands. Who is actually using a Dynamic Disc OGIO bag for competition this week? Wow, that's good. Keep your hands raised, who owns an OGIO bag but not a Dynamic Disc bag? All right, so our job in marketing is to make a lot more hands raised. So it looks like we've done a decent job, but we've got a little bit ways to go. All right, so the first initiative that we're doing at OGIO is we're making an overhaul of our website. So in the next couple of weeks, you'll see a new part of our website launch, and there's a dedicated section specifically for disc golf. On there, we'll be featuring content, tournament results, instructional content. We're partnering with Eric McCabe to do course design content, player profiles, and a lot more. One of those other things is ambassador. We're building out our team of OGIO ambassadors. We don't currently have very many, but there'll be some on the website. If you think you have what it takes to be OGIO ambassador, please head over to ogio.com/sponsorship and complete the form. And we're really excited to grow out our team and to be a bigger part of the disc golf world. Number 3 is with relation to stadium golf. Dynamic disc and disc golf has already been in 3 stadiums. AT&T Stadium is one. We had Nissan Stadium, and then later this year, Arrowhead Stadium is getting some disc golf with a few hundred players. But the real announcement tonight is that Callaway, every year, we host the Links at Petco Park, which is a 9-hole ball golf experience inside of Petco Park. And for the first time ever, we're adding a disc golf hole to the Links at Petco for all 2,500 players, international media, local media, professional athletes to come experience disc golf alongside ball golf. And finally, a really exciting announcement with relation to the World Match Play Championships. This year now will be sponsored by OGO, and we're throwing in $25,000 for the winner of this tournament on top of already the prize. So, like I mentioned, we're all in at OGO, and we're looking forward over the next years to be really growing, helping grow the sport and doing our part to bring this sport and the excitement and the passion to a whole lot more people. Now I'm going to hand off to Jeremy to give us some more details on the World Match Play.
Awesome. You guys are good. You guys are good. All right. Thank you. Hey, let's give it up one more time to the OGO crew. This is their first time to be here, and you can see, guys, they are committed to growing disc golf. Their $25,000 commitment to match play is something fantastic. You're going to have to wait till after this week to get all the details on it. Nathan mentioned $25,000 to the winner. We're actually making them split that up. First place for the World Match Play Championships will be $15,000. Second place will be $10,000. $7,000 for third place, and $3,000 for fourth place. So we are super excited to have OGO committed to making the World Match Play Championships a reality and pumping in some real money for these pro players to get. So I think it's awesome. Keep your eye out for the opportunity to sign up for the World Match Play Championships. If you made the 2017 World Rankings list, you will have the first and likely only opportunity to sign up. So be looking out for it soon, and you will absolutely get messaged. So one last time, let's give it up for the OGO crew and support them all week long. We're almost done here. Clay, please don't count all the time that our sponsors took towards the over-under. Speaking of Clay, can we all give a quick shout-out to the guy who always wants to stay behind the scenes but is responsible for more things than anyone can even begin to imagine at Dynamic Discs. That's the first time most of you have probably ever seen Clay. Clay Hauser started working part-time at Dynamic Discs back in 2007. In 2011, after graduating from Emporia State University, Clay had a very difficult decision to make. Clay either had to get a real job or he had to figure out how to help make Dynamic Discs the most awesome disc golf company on the planet. I told Clay at his graduation party that we would one day become a $1 million company, and I hope that he could stick around to see that happen. Clay, thanks for sticking with me, and thanks for being the glue that keeps all of us together at Dynamic Discs. And thanks for getting out of the office tonight to hang out with us for a bit. In just a few short years, we have gone from my eBay-based college hobby selling a couple discs a week into a monster of an operation that directly supports more than 50 individuals and families who are on the Dynamic Discs payroll. I believe the thing that sets Dynamic Discs apart from other manufacturers and companies is the fact that we are family and that each and every one of you are part of our extended family. We are honest, motivated, passionate, and dedicated to growing the sport and serving you. And with your support, I promise that we will do everything that we can to give back to growing the sport that we all love so much. At this time, I would like to recognize the Dynamic Disc staff for all their hard work and dedication to not only running what I believe is the best disc golf company in the world, but for making sure that we host what I think is the best disc golf event in the world this weekend. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, guys, thanks for sticking with me during these opening ceremonies. I never got to my second story, so I'll save that one for the next big event here in Emporia, so please make sure to keep coming back. Have fun this weekend, enjoy the courses, enjoy the friendships, but most importantly, enjoy the reason that you started to play this game in the first place, and be sure to be dynamic all week long. At this time, I'd like to welcome up the best tournament director on the planet, and the reason that we can host 1,600 players in Emporia this week. Please go crazy and give a warm welcome for Doug Bjerkes.
There's a lot of people out there. They were almost done. Wow, this is pretty cool to see so many people out here. I was busy over in the side here filling out my application to be an OGO ambassador. I think I finally figured things out. We decided to put a high-end waterproof rain jacket into the player packs with zip pits and everything, and it looks like we're not going to have any rain for the next 3 days, so that is awesome. Hey, I would like to get some folks up here real quick, and I promise we're going to be done by 9 o'clock. But I do want to get all of the course TD and the assistant TDs up on stage if you guys can come up here. These are the guys that you're going to be seeing each day on the courses. This is one of the greatest groups of people that I have had the pleasure of working with. They are all far smarter than me and a whole lot better looking than me. So they will do a great job out on the courses. I do want to introduce our TDs at Peter Pan. If you can raise your hands, from Texas, Steve O'Story and Brad Crow. Coming from Pennsylvania, being the TD at Jones East, Dustin Leatherman, working with Chris Goodrich from Indiana. At Jones West, we have Mr. Disc Golf, Mike Solt, and we also have Dustin Fournier coming all the way from north of the border in Canada. We have two courses out at Municipal. We have the hand-eye course and we have the OGO course this year. Scott Reek from Kansas, Jeremy Panucci from Ohio, Zach Bays from Wisconsin, and Porter Yaks from Texas will be working those courses. I heard somebody say that the wind was going to be about 4 miles per hour tomorrow out at this course, and there's no chance of rain. And these two guys, well, this one guy, and he's got a new guy working with him now, out at Olpe, the beast that he leads every year, Matt Lloyd from Arkansas and Bear Faulkner. Coming all the way from Colorado, Steve and Jesse Clayfoth are going to be TDing the Cottonwood Falls course. Out at Clover Cliff Ranch from Minnesota, we have Jason Wilder and Mike Smith from right here in Olpe, Kansas. And out at the Country Club, we've got Ryan Draper and Ben Marks from Texas and Dave Muntean from Florida. And we've also had Derek Brookard working a lot of our flex starts this week. These guys are great at what they do. They'll be the people that you talk to when you start off on every tee this week. Let's give it up for the greatest group of TDs I've ever worked with. All righty, moving right along. The first slide in this deck is going to be the caddy book. Please consult your caddy book. Everyone should have got one in their players meeting in the check-in today. If you don't have your caddy book, make sure you get one. That caddy book supersedes everything that you will see printed anywhere else, with the exception of what your course TDs tell you tomorrow. So make sure you've got that caddy book. Also, if you have not downloaded the mobile app, please do so. It's good on the Apple phone. It's good on whatever that other phone is. You can get that app, and you can go ahead and get all kinds of information about the tournament. Tee times. Tee times are posted on the PDGA page. Those will be posted each night, so if you want to see where you're going to play and what time you're going to play the next day, go to pdga.com and look at our event page. UDisc is also on board. They're going to be doing some scoring, so if you want to check out live scoring, UDisc will be covering the FPO and the MPO players this week. Spotters. If you're volunteering as a spotter, would you stand up? These guys... These guys will be on the courses from 7:30, actually 7 o'clock in the morning until the last card gets in at about 6, 7 p.m. And they tirelessly volunteer to be spotters. Please give them respect when they're out there. Please also remember that they're not the ones that are going to make final rules calls. It's you guys on your card that are. But if you see guys, this one is an orange shirt up here, but this year they're wearing royal blue. Make sure to thank everyone wearing a royal blue shirt on your course. Now, don't you guys go all wear royal blue tomorrow so that everyone thanks you. But thank those guys when you see them. Thank you, spotters. Now, the next person I want to talk about is the person that has coordinated all of the volunteers here at the GBO, and that's Jackie Morris. Jackie, can you stand up? If there was a Hall of Fame for volunteer coordinators, you'd be the first inductee. She is awesome. Thank you, Jackie. Next up for you AMs, we want 1 out of every 4 of you to win every single day. We've got win your card prizes. If you're in the AM field, your TD, when you turn in your scorecard, will be giving you a win your card prize. You can bring that to the retail store. I want to thank these 3 folks that have been doing this for all 3 years I've been here at the GBO doing this, and that's truly unique. Disc Golf Center and Hand-Eye Supply. Thanks to those guys for those win your card prizes. So I told you how those spotters are going to be out on those courses all day. Well, about half of them are going to get fed by our friends at Coldwell Banker. If you're in Emporia or you want to move to Emporia or you're looking for a house anywhere, if there's a company that's going to go ahead and buy lunches, deliver them to the courses, get them to all of the spotters, that's pretty cool. So support Coldwell Banker if you get a chance. Next up, for you guys that are playing for money, your course TDs will be asking you if your PayPal account is accurate. If you do not want to get paid via PayPal, make sure to let your course TDs know. We did gather that information when you registered. We probably will be double checking with you throughout the week to make sure that we have that address correct. We prefer to do payout with PayPal. However, we will also write a check at the end of the week if we need to do that. Hey, Friday night we're going to do something that's different than anything we've ever done, and that is the 2018 Caddy Games. Yeah. I was tempted to share a video of myself during the Caddy Game trial run where we were racing Zuka carts, and it just didn't end well for me. But there's Zuka cart races, there's water bottle filling, there's score point adding. It's really a fun thing. When we first heard about it and we did kind of a trial run, we thought, oh, I don't know if this is going to be, well, this is kind of weird. What's it going to be like? And I got to tell you, everybody that participated enjoyed it. So if you are available Friday afternoon, I think it's $5 to sign up for it. We've got some super cool blue hydro-dipped Zuka carts for the champions. So check out the Caddy Games on Friday night. Next up, tomorrow, if you have time, I heard some shout out for New Life Christian Church course, which is an awesome course. Our friends at Disc Store are going to be running a 9-hole Superclass tournament, which means you have to throw a big Frisbee. And if you show up, you guys all have a voucher. We're going to give you a free aviator if you go play that Flex Start C tier out at New Life. So check that out. There's information about that on the webpage. There's also going to be some XC tiers. We did this last year. We're doing it again. You can go out to Flint Hills Technical College or to Hammond Park. Check out those C tiers if you guys are looking for an opportunity to get some more points. That's a great way to do it. The Brickyard 20 shuttle These guys, every year for the last 3 years, have been driving folks around, and they're still doing that. There's a schedule in the app. There's a schedule in the caddy book. And then in the evenings, there's a number that you guys can call that's in the caddy book. And if you need a ride at any time where that's going to be the safe choice, please call the Brickyard 20 shuttle. They'll pick you up. They'll get you where you need to go. Let's make sure we have a safe glass blown open. Next up, some of you guys are probably playing poker tomorrow night. It's really important if you're going out to the country club to play poker. They're going to start serving some food at 5:30. You'll want to be checked in by 6. The game will start at 7. And if you're not seated playing by 8, I don't think you're getting in. So Art told me to make sure that you follow that schedule, and there's some great prizes at that poker tournament. Next up, the Bourbon Cowboy. How many of you all played mini golf at the Bourbon Cowboy this week? They've got a 9-hole mini golf course set up. Tomorrow night they've got a mechanical bull. That's all free for GBO participants. Make sure to support the Bourbon Cowboy. Bonfire. Friday night we are going to have the biggest, best Swedish bonfire we've ever had. In fact, it's going to be so big, much like we moved our player meeting from the Granada to here, we're moving that to the Lyon County Fairground. Please come to the Lyon County Fairground. Check out that bonfire. It's going to be a great time. Brickyard 20 Ale House, if you bought one of those $10 putters, you're going to have a chance to throw it in a hole. If there's an ace, you're going to get $1,000 worth of store credit at the Dynamic Disc store. If there are no aces, Brickyard 20 is going to give the 15 closest discs a $100 bar tab for Saturday night, so check that out. Our friends at Pocket Disc will also be out at the bonfire. They'll have a distance competition where you can throw a disc. I think it's going to be $1 per throw, and they're going to be giving out some great cash prizes as well. I want to bring back up ValueNet Fiber. ValueNet Fiber on Channel 3 locally carries all of the live action that we broadcast on the internet for folks to watch all over the country and all over the world, the disc golf fans. Well, what's cool about Emporia is that all week that's actually being piped through a special Channel 3 GBO, the GBO channel, and you can watch the live coverage. You can watch Terry and SmashBoxx's live updates each night on that channel. So check that out. It'll be playing in most of the bars. This is important now. Parking at the Emporia Country Club. The MPO field is playing there all week. We will be running a shuttle back and forth. In fact, there'll be 2 shuttles that will be running between the Emporia State University lower parking lots and the country club. The only folks that can park at the country club are MPO players. In fact, your badge when you checked in, and if you're an MPO player and you didn't check in today, you might want to think about checking in tomorrow because you have a badge that has a little MPO sticker on it that shows that you can park in the Emporia Country Club lot. Anybody else that's going out there to spectate, you guys need to jump down to the Emporia State University lot, jump on the shuttle. The shuttle will take like 2 minutes to get you to the course, but we really want to make sure that parking lot is saved for our MPO competitors. Also, I just got word from Don Schrock, the general manager at the country club, that they did bring in the Kansas Agriculture and Wildlife Commission, I guess. Apparently there have been some wild geese out there attacking people. I haven't seen this, but I've heard about it. And at last word, they were trying to chase down these geese. So we're going to try to remove these man-eating geese from the country club. Next up, I want to talk about Clover Cliff Ranch. This is a new course if you haven't played it. This is out in Elmdale. Warren and Susie Harshman, who own this place, have been so gracious in putting together a dynamite course. If you haven't gone out there, it's definitely a different type of course than what we have in town, and we really encourage the folks that are going out there to enjoy their time on that property. I want to talk about parking there, too, so if we can go to the next slide. When you come into the Clover Cliff Ranch, there's lots of signs that point to where you should go. It's really important that when you go into the ranch, when you get to the big welcome area, you head right and head towards where hole 16 is. We will be starting on hole 16 at Clover Cliff Ranch. Follow the signs, park where you're supposed to park, don't park up by the big house. The big house being not what some people think the big house is. But anyhow, thank you very much, Clover Cliff. Next up, the hand-eye and OGO courses at Municipal. This is really important too. If you're playing either of those courses at Municipal, we want you to park in the parking lot. If the parking lot is full, you can park on that very, very long road that goes into the golf course, but only on the south side. There are blue cones along the north side of that road. Please do not park on the north side of the road that goes into Municipal. Next, I want to talk about Cottonwood Falls. How many of y'all have played Swope Park in Cottonwood Falls? It is really, really, really exciting that the GBO has gone to Cottonwood Falls. It's been something that we've talked about in the past, and with the course that's gone in there, we are super, super proud to include that as part of our lineup for courses. And I can remember reaching out to the mayor of Cottonwood Falls, Boyce Baumgartner, and I talked to him a couple times before because he had talked to us about running their very first tournament out there. I know that Eric McCabe worked with him on designing the course. If you haven't gone out there and seen that junior course out there, they've got a 9-hole junior course that I swear to you is the best junior course for little kids in the entire country. How many of y'all have seen that junior course? Anyways, I talked to Boyce, and he was just elated with the fact that we were going to bring the Glass Blown Open to Cottonwood Falls and to Swope Park. And we started talking about details, and we started talking about plans. And unfortunately, Boyce got sick and actually passed away about a month ago. And it was devastating to get that news. He was an incredible advocate for disc golf. In fact, in this picture here, it's a ribbon cutting for that junior disc golf course that I was just talking about. And every year we like to recognize somebody, you know, a lot. Oh, you got it right here. Okay. We like to recognize somebody with a special Glass Blown award. It's not for winning on the course, but it's for winning off the course. And although Boyce is not with us today, he absolutely is the best recipient for our special 2018 Glass Blown Award, and we've got his wife Connie here that's going to come up and accept that award. Thank you. Thank you. Yep, thank you very, very much. Yep. If Boyce isn't busy playing disc golf on that great course up in the sky, he's looking down, and I know he's happy. Cottonwood Falls is hosting the Glass Blown Open. It was a dream of his, and we're glad we could make that a reality. Thank you so much, Connie, and we appreciate you and your family coming out here tonight. Next up, the Sweet Granada. You guys all got a voucher for a free chocolate bar. We used to put those right in your player packs, and then some people would come to me 3 days later and go, man, I found this like soup in my bag, trying to figure out what that was. It tasted really good. Go to the Sweet Granada and get you that candy bar. It's a special GBO candy bar. It's one of the unique things that we've got going on here. Radius, Bevel Beer, and Prairie Artisan Ales concocted what we think is the best Glass Blown ale that we've had. I believe it's the Headwind version 2. If you have not gone to Radius, go check that out. We want to thank Nate and Valerie for working on that beer. If you have not been to Radius, check it out. It's a great beer. It's the official beer of the GBO. Hey, we're not going to stop with chocolate. We're not going to stop with beer, but for the first time, there is an official wine for the GBO. It's called Getaway. It's from our friends at Wheat State Wine Company. There's about 120 bottles of it for sale at the liquor locker. Ironically, it's $20.18. I told that to one person. They were like, $20.18? What's that? Yeah, that's... If you don't figure it out, I'm sorry. Anyhow, that Getaway wine is an awesome wine. I think the label says something about whether you've had a great round or a bad round. It's always good to have a bottle of wine. Anyhow, we also want to thank Zuka again. Jeremy mentioned Zuka earlier. Zuka is a proud partner with us for both this event and for the Junior Worlds. Everybody on every course you play is going to see a Zuka cart on hole 1. If you have not tried a Zuka cart, get you one. It is fantastic. Okay, everyone do me a favor and go and hum. I want to hear the whole place hum. Hum Kombucha, what a great sponsor as well. In fact, Hum Kombucha will be here all week. They will be set up at Peter Pan. They'll be set up at the block party. And all of you guys probably got a voucher in your player pack for a free drink at the bowling alley Monday night. Don't know how many of you used it, but you have that voucher. That voucher is actually good if you did not use it for a free drink at the bowling alley on Monday night to get you a free hum kombucha drink over at Peter Pan or at the block party. Get you some of that. They are great supporters of disc golf. Hey, I'm almost done here. I want to thank the Emporia Gazette. Jerry mentioned them as well. These guys cover the front page with disc golf this entire week. Chris Walker and the team down there are just awesome. Saturday night, if you guys look around and you were here last year, we are sitting where the block party was. That does not look like it's going to be the case this week. We will have the block party out on Commercial Street, closing down 2 blocks. If you haven't been here for a block party, make it out Saturday night. It's one of the greatest experiences off the disc golf course that I could recommend. Well, maybe there's a couple others. But anyhow, next I want to thank Eagles Wings. They're a big supporter of what we do, and they do have a chapel service. It's going to be about 15 minutes after we conclude here over at the Presbyterian Church across the street from the Granada. I also want to thank Steve Dodge and the Disc Golf Pro Tour. They have brought their Festival of the Flying Discs to our retail store. I know that on Thursday and Saturday they've got some special competitions there, but go have fun with all of those arcade-type disc golf games anytime during the week. We're real happy to have them set up next to the store. Sunday, we have the Junior GBO. This is the 3rd year we've done that. If you want to see some kids play, head out to Emporia Middle School. It's a good time. I want to again thank Next Tech Wireless. These guys are providing wireless service to all of our TDs so they can do live scoring. Next, I want to thank the City of Emporia, and I want to stay on this slide for just a second. We could not do this without the City of Emporia. The City of Emporia loves and knows disc golf. Let's remember that we are ambassadors of disc golf. And as ambassadors of disc golf, let's treat Emporia with the same respect that Emporia treats us. So I'd remind you guys all to just be decent human beings all week. This town is full of decent human beings, and we're all going to have a great time together. With that, I want to make one announcement before we send everybody out of here. If you are a spectator and you have one of the signature discs that have the 6 names of the pro panel that was up here earlier, we are going to have you form a line over here. Don't do it yet, but the pro panel folks are going to come back up on stage. They're going to sign those discs. If you didn't happen to get one of those discs, we will have some of them available already signed in the retail store later this week. We want to thank the pro panel for being here. We want to thank all of our guests that came up and spoke, and we most importantly want to thank you guys. Here's to a great week at the GBO. Tomorrow we tee off at 7:30. I don't know if it works anymore.